Welcome once again. Today I'll be talking about comparison charts. Yeah. So I recently had to do a project, and on the project, I didn't want to look monotonous. So I had to do a couple of comparison charts, and I thought it's wise to also share with you what I did. Now, one of the ones I'm going to be talking about is this simple comparison chart where it compares this period against this period. Yeah, and the difference is captured right here. You can see the difference of 810 as it were. Yeah, lovely. Now, I could swap these into this one. Now, this is something very similar, comparison chart looking so cool. So I got to learn this from Brittany Rosenau. Yeah, she's done a really great job. I'm going to show you the work she did with this similar experience. Now, if you're wondering how I'm swapping between sheets, then you can check out our video on dynamic zone visibility, which we published last week. Yeah, the description is, it's right down there on the description. Now let's get straight to work. So we'll do this first and then do the next one thereafter. So first and foremost, yeah. So quarter on quarter comparison, more or less. Yeah. Now within that period, I want to see what the students did, number of students across each quarter. So it's going to look pretty much like this. Yeah. Now, so that's pretty much. Now, for me to get that, because when you look at this, you might not know that there are two or 3 years playing out here. So I've done a calculated field for year 2023. Yeah, edit. So it says if the year in the date is 2023, then count student ID. Yeah. So same thing for here. If it's 2024, then count student ID. So I'm going to pick that up right up there. Drop it here. So that's 2023. Yeah. Now to allow me get a field, so turn this to bar charts. Drop it up into an entire view. Allows you to really see that full stretch. Now, to allow me get the side-by-side view, which you're not likely to get, you won't get it if you do this. So it brings this kind of experience. To allow us get the side-by-side view, I'm going to pick this up. And instead of dropping it here on the row, so I can take this out, remove these. Instead of dropping it on the row, I'm picking this up. I'm going to drop it right here on the axis. Now, when you drop it on the axis, watch. It comes up with a twin line and it shows green. It means I'm ready to help you now. So I drop it right there. Now, if you look at that, your experience should look more or less like this. To get these to work perfectly, so this actually arranges it based on what? Year first, because the measure name is saying the year. So that takes precedence. Now, what I want to take precedence is the quarter. So I'm going to swap this right in here and drop it right in there. Now, if you look at that, you see you have 2023, 2024. Now, what I may want to do now is flip this, drop it right here on the colors. So by flipping it into colors, 2024 comes with the orange color and 2023 comes with the peach. Is that peach? All right, that's what that works. Okay, cool. Now, this is super cool. Now, what we want to do right now is to look at 2024. Now, if I pick up 2024 and put it right here, this is going to be my experience. It's going to come on the same line with this. But on this note, I actually want something that can come outside here or perhaps before the other one. So I can't do just that. So what do? I'm going to create a calculated field, give it a name, and then pull in 2024. In this instance, I have already done that. So I pulled in 2024 replicates. So this is it. It's just as simple as that is. Yeah. Now, since this it's not the same name with the other one. It will take its own dimension at its place. Another thing you could do to add some beauty aesthetics to it is to make the 2024 go the other way. So I'm going to flip this and bring it right here. So yeah, that works. Cool. Now, if you've got this, go to the replica, turn this right round to a Gantt chart. Got that? Perfect. Now you can come in here and put them all on the same axis, dual axis. Puts them all on the same axis. Now come to the header, right click on it, and then synchronize axis. Then you go, it's the same axis with this. It means everything is on the same plane. Now you're doing very well already. You're doing very well already. Now, depending on what you may want to compare in relation to what, in this instance, we're comparing 2024 in relation to 2023. So I'm going to create a calculated field, which I called difference. Yeah. Now, it's pretty simple. It looks at these in relation, and then we go, yes. Now, you drag the difference and drop it where? On the size of the Gantt chart, on the size of it. Oh, lovely. Did you notice anything? From the point where this starts, right up to the point where the next one stops. Now, to make it look sleek, come into size, drill it down, make it as thin as possible. Yeah. And then you may want to pick up the difference and put on the label. So you see that experience. Now you see, because I measured the other way around, it comes with a minus. It would be good that I let you in on something. And what is that? So when we tried to do this task, basically what we used was the 2024 replicate. Yeah. And in using the 2024 replicate, how did we do? We looked at difference. So when you use 2024 replicate, difference, we used 2023 minus 2024, which is you're minusing from the one you have here already, which is how you get the value. Now, on the flip side, you may want to use 2023 on this end. So I've prepared the 2023 replicate equally the same way I did for 2024. So you can see it's just right there, just this, dragging this in there. Now, if we bring this to replace this simply by putting it over that, yeah? Oh, cool. So we've replaced 2023 already. Now, for you to get the result you want here, go back to difference, yeah? And this time around, you're going to make it the other way around. So it's going to be the one you did not use, 2024, minus the one you used. Make sense? And then apply. Once you nail that on, you see the experience you were looking for. Yeah. So it depends on what are you comparing over the other. It's oftentimes better you use 2023 against 2024. So the smaller against the bigger. And that's the outcome you get. For our very next comparison chart, we will be looking at this beautiful body of work that Brittany shared. Now, if you go to Brittany's Tableau public, that's her name, Brittany Rosenau, you'd see the lovely work she made out of this. And you can click on this icon to go straight to her blog. Now, if you go to her blog, she carefully explains how to go about this. Really loads of details, yeah? Loads of these details. But I had to adapt mine for some reasons, which I'm going to share with you in the next few minutes. Now, going over to my adapted work, I picked out everything that Brittany shared, which is the very first thing, was you have to do some calculations. So there were 4 calculations Brittany captured. The very first one was to find the maximum of the dates. Yeah, so you want to find out what is the maximum of the dates. And for today is the 28th of February. Yeah, so today will actually be the maximum of today will be 28 February 2025. Yeah, so because that's the last date on the data set, the last date on the data set, that was the first thing. The very next thing that Brittany asked us to pay attention to was to be able to distinguish between what is previous and what is current. In the case of what we were trying to compare, so the body of what we're trying to compare, we're looking at 2024 as against 2023. So what did I do in this regard? Now, I'm going to make this really bold. I hope you can see it. I'll take this right off. Now watch this. It says if they truncate year. Now what you're saying is you want to truncate the year, the date, and get just the year of the date, of every date on the data set. If the year on every date on the data set, it's equals to the year on the maximum date. You get that? So the maximum date. Now, because I was using date, I didn't need to use number 1 again. So I had to do what you call to make this instead of aggregated. Yeah, so I made it a simple calculation. Now, if you go with just saying if they this, if you normally from Brittany's own, you would have to do this. I'll take this off, and you have 1. So this is how Brittany's own showed up. Now, but if you do this for dates, yeah, you're going to have an error. So what's the error? Aggregate against non-aggregate. To help me deal with that, I took that off completely. So I never had to use her first calculation. So what did I use? Made this a non-aggregate using the fixed LOD. Now, if you don't understand this, just let me know in the chat box. I'm happy to do a video to explain that for you. So if you sieve the year from each data set, and it is equals to the year of the maximum date, then that is the current experience. On the flip side, if you sieve the date, and then the year from every date, and the year of every date, it's equals to what? The current maximum date year minus 1. Yeah, this is concatenating different functions. Yeah, you have to break them down to understand. That means it's previous. And if you minus 1 from the highest date, that will be 2023. Else order. So else, we're not considering those ones. Okay, so awesome. We drop this now. Let's go back to the worksheet. The very next experience was number 3. The bar shifter. The bar shifter says, if 2 equals to current, so we're shifting what? The current. We're saying place it on what? 2, position 2. Else 1, so current will be on 2, previous will be on 1. I'll show you how that works. The third one, the fourth one, she made this lovely one and used it to explain color coding. Yeah, so we'll look at that together. But again, I never had to use this. So basically with number 2 and 3, my work was done. Yeah. All right, cool. So now what is the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to pull the date. Here is the date, end of month, pull it up right here, and it comes up with the year symbol. Now, because this has to be a string, the date, using of date will give you complications. I had to do my own calculation, which is, watch this. So I turned the string, the date part into a string. So this is now a string. Yeah. So I pulled in a string right here. Looks good. Thereafter, I compared that string, which is now in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Yeah. There are 4 years. Yeah. So turn them into a string. The rows, on the row side, I looked at complete again student ID. Okay, so I compared this for all 4 years. So this looks at literally comparing all 4 years. Okay, what are we doing here? The date part here is what? Quarter, and there are 4 quarters in a year. So basically you have quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. So you've done a great job. Now, what you have here is quarter 1 for all the years on this data set. And I would like to limit that to only quarter 1 of only 2 years. So the current year and the previous year. Those are the only 2 years. But if you doubt me, I could cancel this, go to the year experience, pull this up, month, and drag it the year. So the date, you can see there are a couple of, so you have 2024, 23, 22, and even the null experience. Now, because I'm only interested in 2 years, I'm going to go to calculation number 2, which says if the year is current year, current, if it is previous year, previous, orders will be order. I'm going to use that experience now as a filter. Current, previous, I don't need the order. And I'm going to say, oh, apply and okay. My job is done. I limit that to only 2 experiences. Now, I'm going to be beyond color. I want this to appear on the detailed side of things too. But even if you don't do that, that will still be fine. All right, the next thing I'm going to go in there for, it's number 3. Number 3 is called the bar shifter. So it positions this bar and this bar where it wants it to be. So literally, you pick up this, you drop it right here. Oh, you see, it separates them. Now, let's look at the calculation again. It said if it is current, put it on the point 2. If it is previous, put it on point 1, so it separates them. Lastly, what you're going to do is, it's already on full, so come to fixed, turn this to 2. 2 is fine. You want to do 5? Yeah. Oh, I see. Now, bar shifter should be on average. Fix it on average. Yeah, average. And there you go. You have yourself the lovely little experience. Yeah. So it looks more or less like this. Thank you for watching. Let areas you would like us to do videos for you. For now, like, share, and do share your comment about your experience. Thank you.